Hey, what's happening, y'all? This is Dealer Destro back with another Modern Era G.I. Joe video. And we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane here, looking at the Ultimate Storm Shadow offering from the Retaliation lineup. And, yeah, just recently went through some storage stuff. Started taking out some figures that I still, that I have boxed up. Thought it'd be, good to do some videos on these guys. But yeah, this is what it was dubbed, the Ultimate Storm Shadow. I want to say these were revealed right around the time that like the 30th was hitting, and there was like a concept case, vault case, whatever you want to call it, and this guy was shown in there. Now, what's kind of a bummer about this series here is this is literally what you get for a bio, this little piece here, and they're kind of corny. So yeah, so I mean, unless you're like an ultimate completist, these really serve no purpose unless you just want the, the little blurb, call out, whatever, and to have the packaging and whatnot. So I guess let's get down to business as per the usual. I've got old ye trusty here. And one thing I noticed too is when these were hitting stores, this sort of packaging here, it didn't matter how good the card was, the bubble on these guys seemed to have some problems, and it transferred to the internal packaging as well. So just something to note should you choose to get one if you don't have one already. So for those of y'all that watch my videos, y'all know that I like to unpackage on camera, and I'm very methodical. I don't know if that has anything to do with like being mildly OCD or something, whatever. I don't know why, but this blade is new, but this packaging is not cooperating, so we're just gonna savagely rip this off as per the what was common with Retaliation. You get a stand that resembles a dog tag, some made in China goodness on the back, one peg. Yeah, I mean, these stands were kind of corny. Didn't really care for them too much. Now, what I did care for is what's inside the packaging. That looks good. That looks good, and as is the commonplace with... Oh, that's nice. I guess I never realized that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right here, but anyway, yeah, I mean, super awesome loadout. You got the two swords, the sai. I guess this is supposed to be like paying homage to like the Cobra Claw. You've got an arrow, a bow, a fan, a spear. Essentially the same loadout as the Renegade Storm Shadow, minus the extra sash with the little dart that you could put on it. But yeah, nice attention to detail there. So I'll get him, out of the packaging, come back, get him stood up, and we'll talk shop here. All right, so I'm back, and a couple things I got to get set straight on here. So tucked behind this bad boy here, we had this bag of goodies right here, and he does come with the little accessory that you can, there it is right there. So, and there's the thing that clips on the belt. So anyway, we'll take a look at all this stuff here right now. So first and foremost, he comes with this backpack that sort of, like I said, pays homage to, at least I think, the Cobra Claw. It opens up. You have this little action gimmick here. So if he were pegged in, I don't know what purpose that serves. I mean, aside from the crazy ninja battles that are referenced in his little write-up. So yeah, but it should be noted that the tampoed, logos and whatnot are done extremely well. Like, extremely well. So I'm going to set that off to the side. Comes with this alternate head, and we'll take a look at him with this. I don't know how I feel about this. This feels like like they did it kind of like for saving face, but we'll take a gander at that. I like this sculpt. I don't know that the paint apps are, where I would want them. Also comes with the later offering of the Arashikage bow and arrow backpack. Comes with a loose arrow that you can take out. Also comes with what I call the skinny version of the bow, and that fits in there real nice. Also, looking at it from the front here, he comes with a couple of these bad boys, a couple katanas, and those are painted up nice. Sort of that metallic finish on them, and they tuck away really good. Now, the problem I have with this backpack is this backpack, attention to detail and everything is great, but then when you look at it here, the blades are exposed, and that's a minus. That gets you lose some points for that. This could have had the potential to be like one of the best backpacks in the entire line. Comes with this Kung Fu fan. Yeah, so I don't know what that's for. I don't know if he's going to be opening that up and fanning away shuriken or whatnot. Comes with this whole bag of just ninja ridiculousness here. So you get two... Well, let's talk about that. You get nunchucks with real ninja action string. You get two sais that are all gray, and I guess it should be noted all these accessories are the same color. You get these, I don't know what these are. I think these are the things that they put in their hands to climb or to scale like crazy surfaces. You get two of those. You get that little thing that does that thing that I was talking about that I didn't think he came with. And there's the piece that probably everyone's going to end up losing. And then he comes with, I don't know what these are called, like kunai, maybe? I have no idea. That's me trying to break out the hip ninja lingo after watching some Naruto episodes. And then he comes with two shuriken, which, done nice. We've seen them before, and this is the problem with little accessories and big hands. So yeah, so full ninja loadout, and that's a ridiculous amount of accessories, and I'm not complaining. I was on some Facebook group discussions here the other day, and folks were commenting like, "Oh man, those loadouts were ridiculous." But it's like, look, they're gonna charge you $10 a figure nowadays. That's the going rate. MSRP for a modern era G.I. Joe, or when I was a kid, it was $1.95. So I'm not sure what that says about the U.S. dollar holding up. In inflation and all that jazz. And you could make the argument that you're paying for, the modernness, the extra engineering, etc. But I mean, look at that. That is like reminiscent of like the Ninja Force era, where like every figure came with like a stupid amount of accessories on a sprue. And again, I'm not complaining. For what I'm paying, I demand this type of accessorized loadout here. I demand that because shoot, man, 4-inch figure, $10 MSRP. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, so getting into the figure, he has done extremely well, and you could tell that they are paying homage or wanting to pay homage to an era that has passed, and I'll take that. Anytime you want to give me a throwback figure in what's supposed to be a movie line, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that because I'm a fan of this era of Joe. I guess I should say being a fan of the original era, right? And my preference is modern. Like, if I'm sitting at the dealer table and I'm trying to add stuff to my collection, it's not vintage. I'm not trying to add vintage Joes to my vintage vehicles, sure. Vintage vehicle drivers, yeah, plus. And I'm sitting here like kind of stalling out because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this pegged in there. And it is very difficult for me. Like, I almost feel like I need to go grab some tweezers or something because this is crazy. Like, I don't know if I had this same problem with the with the Renegades, Storm Shadow. All right, I'll do that in between. Anyway, so I guess looking at this guy, the Cobra insignia is extremely clean. Extremely clean. And Storm Shadow is like a hard figure to kind of mess up paint-wise, right? Because we know this whole thing is cast in white. But then you've got the flesh tone paint with the eyes, the eyebrows, the eyelashes. Like, it looks good. Like, it looks good. Then you got the silver accent here on the sash or whatever. You've got this sort of wash. I don't know how good it's showing through on the camera, but it really brings out those details on his armbands here. Articulation wise, this guy, this is probably one of the best articulated figures you got there. You got a slight forwards and backwards motion, good all around motion on the head, the arms. And it's crazy too, right? Because he has that updated articulation, so you can have him kind of like shoving someone's nose into their skull type photography with the way that these hands are done. And then he's got the updated articulation there. So how many points of articulation does he have? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 17, 18 points of articulation on this bad boy. And he will, I mean, can you get some crazy poses with him? You sure can. Like, you sure can. You can have him doing like the old school, like Tatsumaki Street Fighter. You can have him kind of, I mean, man, this is crazy. Like, everything you can do with this guy. So anyway, I'm getting carried away here. I'm on meds too because I'm fighting this bug, so I'm a little out of it. But the elbows have perfect bend, full 360 degree. These shoulder pads do kind of make it obstructive, but it's not nothing that you can't live with. Because of how this is sculpted, it flares out. That's not a problem though. because with this updated point here, I mean, we'll look at some dynamic poses here. But yeah, I mean, essentially that's him. Nothing, I mean, it's good. Like, this figure is good. And what amazes me is, like, there's the parts list here is I mean, it's pretty much like Retaliation, Ninja parts, rehashed stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and try and pop on, you know what? Because this is a movie head, that's what I was kind of afraid of. It kind of sits a little weird on the figure for me. Why is my camera wanting to not focus on the... Come on, camera. There you go. Right. That's so weird. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if that looks right. Because, again, that's my favorite head. That's like my favorite unmasked head sculpt for him. But I think I'm gonna roll with that. This, I guess let's talk about this head. So this head is weird, right? It looks like he's got, like, I'm just gonna have to fill that in, and fill that in, and fill that in, and that's about it. I mean, otherwise, you know, the eyes are decent. They even put like some paint on his lips right there to kind of bring those out, but sculpt is good. I think the sculpt is fantastic. It's just the paint leaves some touch-up work needed, which is unfortunate. But anyway, hair sculpted really good. Just, I think, I don't know. I thought Byung Hyung, whatever his name is, the actor, because that's clearly who this is modeled after. You know, I thought, what the heck is going on with my camera? Okay. I thought, you know, he looked the part, and clearly, you know, when they, you know, model the sculpt after him, it looks good. It just sits funny on the figure. So, having said that, I'll get him geared up, try to get him in some cool poses. We'll come back and we'll talk, you know, whether or not I think you should get this guy. All right, something I want to try and showcase here real quick with the way that these hands are sculpted. You can see that it allows for him to grab that very, very highly probably lost accessory, and also the ninja stars fit really good. So just wanted to bring that up real quick. All right, so there's more of what I'm talking about as far as like how you can, like, how ridiculous you can get when you pose this guy. Again, because these hands are like this, you can actually have him holding the sign like a more informal-ish stance, sort of like Raph from Ninja Turtles. So there's that. All right, and if this bow actually allowed for it, you could actually have him like full drawn arrow stance. Because of how the hands are molded, they're just so... it encourages these sort of poses. So, you know, if you want to take matters in your own hands and actually put like a drawstring on there for the bow, then you could have him full stance, literally drawing back, ready to let his arrow fly. And once again, there he is striking sort of a dynamic pose with his swords. Should be noted, I'm not really a fan of these swords. These swords are the swords that came with like all the Retaliation ninjas. I'll probably be getting him some of the more exotic looking swords from past offerings, but again, just wanted to showcase the dynamic just posability of this guy. It's insane. And then I was able to get that accessory on his bandolier there finally. So last thing I guess we should look at is how that ain't gonna work, is it? With maybe yeah. So unfortunately, this here sort of gets in the way. I mean, I think this whole accessory gets in the way of being able to use the backpack, but that's, you know, that's what he would look like, kind of hanging off that. And then if you really want to get ridiculous for aerial combat, that's what it would look like. So yeah, so that's that. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. So anyway, so that's this guy in a nutshell. Get him stood back up, and it should also be noted too that these stands for the figures that have these shallow holes in the bottom of their feet, these stands are pretty much worthless. So just one final thing that I thought I should note. So high recommend, a high recommend. This is probably one of the best figures they've released to date. So that's my 2 cents on it. Not sure what the secondary market price is doing on this guy. It's baffling how that works. I mean, I get it. It all boils down to supply and demand, but man, some of these figures hit absurd prices. So anyway, so yeah, if you have not picked this dude up yet and you're still thinking about whether or not you should fill a hole in your collection, solid recommend. The loadout, the overall presentation of the figure, the fact that they threw in the extra head, even though it didn't, you know, even though the paint was a little weird on it, all of the loadout that you get with this guy. I mean, essentially you get the Renegade Storm Shadow loadout, with a jetpack that resembles the Claw, which is good. That's good. You know, you want that. So yeah. So I hope you guys found this video informative. Till next time, hope y'all take care, and we'll catch you on the flip side for the next video. Thanks for tuning in.